Okay. Hello, everyone. So it is our final night tonight of our 12 days of Christmas, and I couldn't think of anyone better doing our last evening than my very good friend Lottie. Lottie thinks that she's a novice dog trainer, and yet she'd probably blow most of us out of the water with her dog training, me especially. She's definitely a better dog trainer than I am. And Lottie quite often raises some really lovely, valid concerns about social media and dogs. So that's what she's going to talk to us about tonight. So, Lottie, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and off you go?
Yeah, I am Lottie and I'm 15. If you, I don't know if you listened to yesterday's talk, but Lisa's my mum and I live with six dogs. Um, I want to keep today really chill and just like a conversation really. And as it's the last day, me and Rebecca thought a little bit of fun. So I've got a little game. So if you want to participate in that, that would be amazing. If not, Rebecca, I'm sure that you'll play along.
I will.
Um, Before I start, I've got a little disclaimer. So in throughout this talk, there'll be quite a few pictures and videos. Um, they might be upsetting to you. I know definitely when I came across them, I was a bit like, oh, that might not be the best for the talk, but I just thought before I start, if you want to leave at any point, that is absolutely fine. I won't take any offense to that whatsoever. Um, so with the following, I would like you to analyze a little bit what you think um about about these dogs and body language and things like that. So if they've got stress signals, any restricted movement in like their limbs, their ears, their tail, things like that. Um, and well, quite a few of them are in outfits. And do you think they're like serving a purpose if they're like needed, if they're like working? And I know like some police dogs and search dogs they need or like to protect their paws and things like that. And then do they look physically uncomfortable? Like, can you tell? Do they really want to be there, or is it like just for us? And then you can say if you want to, or type in the chat whether you think um the images will have higher amount of likes or a lower amount of likes than the previous picture. So we're sort of just playing higher or lower with likes and things. I need to plug it in before we get started because
Okay,
my
darling.
laptop's gonna die.
I like the disclaimer. It's good to have one of those. We don't say that often enough, to be honest.
Right, I think we're all right to get going now. So this is the first image. Oh, and I forgot to say with the images and videos, I've got some comments that I've plucked from most of these from Instagram, I think. So this is the image, a little chihuahua, um, onions. Um, these are some of the comments. Um, like if you're comfortable, do you want to say whether you think um anything? Do you think is bothering this dog? Do you think it looks comfortable? Anything like that?
Do you want me? I will start everyone off, shall I? And then everyone can possibly. I think I've seen dogs look more uncomfortable in honesty. I really don't like the restriction though. I think there's just so much so that there could be a shutdownness. I would say there is a bit of tension around the eyes, which is quite difficult with some chihuahuas because some chihuahuas have got quite protruding eyes anyway, haven't they? Although I wonder whether that's quite often because chihuahuas are quite often stressed, poor little things. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a very tight mouth. So there's a lot of tension around jaw on that. At the same time, the pictures are very difficult, aren't they? So I've seen more distressed dogs, but the idea that this
Yeah.
dog can't really move, like it's a lot, isn't it? So that would be my
Yeah, that was
opinion.
sort of what I picked up on was like a lot of tension around like the face. And then one of this comment over here, I don't know if you can see, but it's so this creator, they did like they dress their dog up every day for like the for Halloween, and then they do it every day for Advent for Christmas. And a lot of people do this, and I almost wanted to make people aware. Like a lot of other talks have been about education. I wanted to be like to like educating people about like around Christmas. Like people do it a lot, and like I was searching for something, and apparently there's a national dress your dog up day in January, and that's like I couldn't believe that. I was just like absolutely like taken aback by that. Um, but yeah. Um,
It's
so
so
obviously
sad
this
as well because people are doing it for, I wouldn't say the right reasons, but people are doing it because they think their dogs are cute and they want to spend time with their dogs. And, it's not like people are getting the shock collars out, or do you know what I mean? And so there's a real
yeah.
misunderstanding, isn't there, of
Oh yeah,
how
100%.
these, lack of consent and choice, how much that can stress dogs out. And yeah, and I always think there's a lack of consent, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's just no consent. Not like they can say, "Yeah, I'll be Shrek today," and look like a pillock for the camera.
Yeah. Um, Obviously because this is the first one, we haven't got anything to go off of whether it's higher or lower, but um if you didn't guess, this is how many likes it would have got. And for me, I think yeah, if that's the amount of likes, I would probably say around twice that is the amount of views. So that means it's like getting out to so many more people. And for me, the likes are going, that's like that's how many people are seeing this as acceptable. And a lot of the comments, like overall, um, they were other like dog creators commenting on it, which I just thought was unbelievable.
It's very objectifying, isn't it, as well? I always think this with kids that are kind of made to look a certain way, and then there's just no choice there again, is
So
there? It's just it's and I am actually really fussy with the clothes that I wear and the textures that they are, and I'm quite
yeah,
sensitive to those types of things. And a lot of people wouldn't know that about me, but I if I wore sort of, I've got to be really, I would say if I went back years and years ago, then I don't know, it's a lot more acceptable now, isn't it? But I would say I go more into masculine kind of dress than I do feminine.
yeah,
But at the same time, I feel more feminine in those types of clothes. So actually wearing jeans and boots and like big jumpers and make me feel feminine, whereas you put me in a dress and I feel like I'm in drag. I don't feel comfortable. And so
yeah.
for
And like
me, just put
even
in, there's just no choice, is there?
yeah, and like even some dogs, I know they're really selective with like harnesses, let alone like things like this.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So that's nearly like 15,000 likes, which is quite a lot. But the next one, I've got a little video. Should we see if it's going to work? None of the videos have sound, 'cause I didn't think that was needed, but they're really short clips, these ones. What did you think about that?
Anyone else want to jump in before I
It was jumping a little bit, so I'm not sure I got the effect of it.
I mean, for me, I didn't see, for me, it looks like it's winter.
Yeah,
It's a jacket which I would wear. My boys have got coats. My girls and boys have got coats because they get cold. So I would say that there's more of a practical use for this. Yes, there's an added comic value of kind of but it's not over the top.
no,
And I don't see that the dog, I didn't see anything that I saw. The video was a bit jumpy, but I didn't see anything
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
was
sorry
worrying
about that.
about. So it's not you, darling, it's just the computer, isn't it? Um, yeah, so there's not, I wouldn't see, I don't like staged videos, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
no.
And I know I'm quite extreme in my views there. I mean, I've got shit videos of my dogs, and that's because my videos, are usually my dogs digging holes and do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? That I don't, my dogs don't sit, they don't come, they don't do anything that I tell them to do, to be honest. They just get on with it. And so these types of videos for me, I always feel are a bit staged.
yeah,
But at the same time, he looked quite comfortable and relaxed as far as I could
yeah.
see.
Yeah, I
But
thought he looked quite relaxed. I thought it was, yeah, more serving a purpose of being like keeping them warm rather than obviously it has got the comedic of like the um like spots and stripes and stuff, but like for me I didn't think it looked like really uncomfortable. Um
no, I
these
didn't.
was
I thought he looked quite
yeah,
comfy.
these were some of the comments, and again um and like as I was making this PowerPoint I was thinking like all of the comments pretty much look the same, like whatever type of video it or like photo it was. um do you think this will have higher or lower amount of likes as the last one?
I reckon lower.
I hope higher, but I think
I
lower.
reckon lower.
Yeah, so
What did you
you're all
think,
right.
Danielle? Yeah.
So like
Same.
significantly lower.
Yeah.
Um, right, this is the next one. I wasn't sure if I was going to put this one in or not. But it's here. This one I'm not so sure about.
Go on and play it. We can.
Ooh.
Why? Oh, a nice yawn.
Rebecca, what did you think about that one?
I don't think you probably know, Lottie, don't you? Ah. Again, just a massive restriction in movement, loads
Yeah,
of stuff around the head, so stopping any sort of sensory kind of input. The dog was obviously shut down. I mean, that's a very
yeah,
shut down, very tense. And I think the hardest thing is as well is if you tell people these types of things, they just think you're being a killjoy
yeah,
and
Mm.
get defensive. And it's so sad because I think if people obviously love their dogs, they're not doing
yeah,
this because they don't love their dogs. And if they could see what we see, they'd be mortified, I think.
yeah,
I think they'd be
absolutely.
mortified that they do this to their dog because they don't realize that it is damaging to their mental health.
And I've
Um,
got a little bit about this later, but I think most of what they do is like completely just for online. Like I think if social media wasn't a big thing amongst like because a lot of these were like younger adults, like they I would say probably like 30s under or like what they look like from their profiles. And I would just go, if it wasn't a massive thing, like in the younger generation, I would say like probably half of this wouldn't be happening,
Mm.
I
or
think you're
it
right.
wouldn't be or it wouldn't be going on and people seeing it and going, oh, let's do that for my dog because it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's definitely increased, hasn't it? I mean, people have
Yeah.
always dressed up their dogs to a
Oh
certain extent,
yeah.
but I think it's always been like, I mean, we used to, Andrew, and I used to say to Andrew, and this was before I knew anything about dogs. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'd always had dogs, but Andrew would always put his sunglasses on. In fact, I think I've got a picture of Andrew and our old girl Fly. I don't know if you can see that,
Yeah.
and she's got his baseball cap on. um and that was like, so we did do things like that, but then saying that,
Yeah.
Fly actually was the type of dog that didn't give a shit. um
Yeah, and
but
it's
it's
like
not.
it's 100% like what you know. Like we did it years ago, like because we just didn't know. And
No.
like it's also 100% down to dog. Like obviously you know Scrumpy. Scrumpy wouldn't do he wouldn't want anything like that because like the amount of like body sensitivity he has. But our other ginger lab Tango, like he would be absolutely fine with all of that. And
Yeah.
it's like I think some people don't realise online is that just because if they've got the same breed of dog or something down to that, it doesn't mean that it's going to be okay for them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And as you've said before as well, is it's when it's being done to show possibly millions of people on the internet, what is our drive for doing that? Just to
Yeah.
get likes. There's no putting the dog at the center of that. It's nothing to do with the welfare of the
No,
dog whatsoever, is it? It's whereas if you're doing
no, they're
things
just
at
they're just like
home,
an inanimate object being put on.
yeah, yeah. Whereas if you're at home and you put a
But
baseball cap on your dog and you all laugh a bit, and there's a difference.
yeah,
Whereas now, as you say, there's this
yeah.
real push for getting more likes, basically.
Um, higher or lower? I think you might be able to guess this one.
Hey,
Highest so far.
Unfortunately, so
oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But I think you can almost see a like a common factor in all of these now is like the ones that we would deem as like more respectful to the dog, like they're just being pushed aside for the ones that like the dog is being dressed up more, they look more attractive and things like that.
Mm.
I've got another video for you.
Wow.
What do we think about this one?
it's really difficult for me because I've got friends that actually do this, and I really struggle. I
Yeah,
kind of have voiced, but then I just back off because there's just, I don't want to upset people if it's
yeah,
not going to change their viewpoint. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy to have
yeah.
open
Like
conversations with
some
people,
things it's
but
worth fighting for, and others it's like it's not.
yeah, and I will always be honest with my opinions, but at the same time, I quite often keep my opinions to myself because,
Yeah,
I don't want to burn bridges, and so
yeah,
again, it to me, it screams child pageant. I
yeah,
just don't think there's any consent there, and for me, I'm just like, why are we trying to make dogs look so far away from what they are? We're already
yeah,
treating them away from their species, and this is just doing more to damage that. We're not treating them like dogs.
yeah.
Um,
And I think like parts of this video, I would have gone like when they let the dog sniff the clippers, I would have said that like that's pretty good. And then other points I would have gone like absolutely no way. And
yeah.
it's almost like getting mixed messages, but like people that wouldn't know our knowledge wouldn't know which way to go with that.
No, and that's the thing again. I think the question for me is always why?
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't really
Like
understand.
the dog doesn't want to like stand on that table in like a boiling hot room, probably with other dogs for hours on end, just to get nothing out of it for them. Like they'd much rather be getting like be a mud leopard out instead outside. Like, do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like it's like not anything to do with their species at all.
no. No, and it gives the wrong messages out.
Yeah,
And for me, if you're going to spend that much time with your dog, then as you say, in a muddy puddle, or if you want to spend sort of time doing groomingy stuff, sat in a comfortable position where they're getting
yeah,
massages or little paw rubs, I mean, I do loads of that type of stuff with my guys.
yeah.
Sorry,
Like
Danielle, did you
do
want to say something lovely?
Sorry, it was just going to be a quick one. It's less of a social media question, more of a behaviory question. Does having all this done on a dog affect how other dogs perceive them as well?
I think that's a brilliant point. Yeah. I mean, I doubt there's
100%.
any
I
studies on
think.
it, but I can't see how it wouldn't, if I'm
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I don't think that like obviously because I don't think anyone's done anything into it, but I think 100% it would.
Yeah, yeah.
Um higher
Yeah,
higher or lower?
Oh, I can imagine this is off the
Higher.
charts.
Higher.
Oh, it's lower. Okay.
It was lower, but I'm almost pleased that it was because like a lot of people, well, in the comments of this, it was like using dog safe like paint and all of that, but like I know some people that have painted their dogs with actual paint because they've seen this, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Um,
that question, isn't it? I think of people say, well, we should be allowed to. It's a bit like saying, oh, well, we should be allowed to put violence in films because, other people that commit violence, it's not our fault if they commit violence. And
yeah.
it's like, but we all have a responsibility. So for me, that's why I would be like, I'm not sure it's a great idea to let children watch things with violence on the TV when they don't understand the nuances of things. And this is the same thing. Like most people, they don't know the nuances of dog
Oh
behavior
no.
so putting stuff out there is just putting them in such it's just making them so vulnerable, I feel.
Yeah.
It's
So this one, I've moved my thing so you can see this comment down here. But like a lot of the comments have been similar. Like I noticed they've all been like love hearts or really cute or things like that. And I think like it doesn't tend to change whether it's and like on there's going to be one that I come to in a minute that had some negative things on, but other than that, none of these had any negative things whatsoever.
And that's really scary because you usually find with stuff loads of negative stuff, don't
Yep.
you?
And
Yeah.
there was only one that I found that's in this PowerPoint that's got negative things on.
And I think the thing is as well is that I mean I just avoid posts like this, and I must admit I
Oh
don't
yeah,
put because there's no point. I mean I'd get lynched if I put
yeah.
comments things like this. However nice my comments were, I would get lynched. And it's interesting you saying that there's just like this very similar commenting. There's not, and it's nothing about the dog. Like there's nothing
Oh
wrong
no,
with this coat, in my opinion.
yeah,
The coat might be just there for warmth and
yeah,
a lovely coat. I've got pajamas for my dogs, stuff like that is and don't get me wrong, when he's in his pajamas, I'll be like, oh bless him, he looks really cute.
yeah.
Because that's what we're like. We're humans and
I was
we
gonna
kind
say,
of
like,
humanize
we're
and
we're almost programmed to do that, aren't we? Like,
yeah, yeah, we are without a doubt. There's something, but it's just sad that it's again, it's this objectification, but we do it to women, we do it to
yeah,
children. It's not just dogs we're doing it to, is it? It's this, everything is about image, and I've had a real bee in my bonnet recently about this with, just we're trying to get away from this thing that women and men, I think it's got worse for men as well. I mean men are kind of slammed with it that they should look like Adonises and have certain
yeah,
we've got more men wearing makeup and I'm not saying I don't mean men that want to express themselves, that's very different, but feeling the
yeah,
need to wear makeup to hide certain things, that's very different. I think there's a big difference between expression and not feeling like you can fit in because art, makeup and that can be an art form, can't it? It is. I mean, it's
yeah,
incredible
100%.
sometimes. But it's very different than when we don't feel enough. And I
Yeah,
think this is that it's that objectification again, isn't it? All the time, which is it's really sad.
but yeah, this one I didn't think it was too restrictive. Like, I think like possibly up here, but not anywhere near as much as the other ones. And I think yeah, it could just be keeping the dog warm. Like you don't know off like a picture, it's almost harder. But yeah, I don't think this was like too bad compared to the other ones.
No, and
I
the dogs
think
sat down as well, aren't they? Which makes things look tighter and stuff as well. And yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Higher or lower? What do you think?
a
A
way
lot
lower,
lower.
I imagine. Yeah,
I think possibly higher because it's a puppy.
that's
Do
true.
you?
Yeah, yeah,
That is true. Puppies get a lot of um stuff, don't they? This was well, I would have said this is quite a lot for what it is, but then
yeah.
again, puppy. Um, but yeah, this is lower. Um,
Oh.
You could, yeah, you can already see the preview for this. Um, I'm gonna play it for what you
God,
think.
the bloody film makes me cry enough.
Mm.
How many things could you count there?
Well, I lost count.
Yeah, and there
I
you go.
mean,
It's like,
just as a still, I mean, that's like, I see, this is what I really struggle with is that for me, before I was even trained in body language, I would look at that dog's face and think that dog looks sad.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't see how anybody can look at that dog and see a furrowed brow and all of those wrinkles. And, I mean, dogs have a lot of muscles in their face because they're
yeah.
very expressive because they, have grown and adapted to express themselves well to us. And yet we don't bloody
I can't
listen,
see
do
how they
we?
can look at that and go, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It looks so happy in that." Like
No, I just want
you
to
just
rip it off
don't, do
of
you?
him or her. Yeah.
These are,
Wow.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think you could tell that they're like the amount of stress signals in that was absolutely like through the roof. And you couldn't see much of the rest of the body, so I didn't know whether it was a like a full thing or not. But from the front, it looks like very restrictive.
I mean, it's going to restrict vision as well, isn't it? I mean, with this sort of, dogs do rely on peripheral. I know with me, I always think of this as well. I don't know about anyone else. I am such a bar humbug at Christmas because I can't wear a Christmas hat because as soon as I've got something there, it's weird because I can wear a beanie. I wear hats a lot. But Christmas hats, I think, because of the way that I start getting a headache and they actually make my vision a bit funny. I do suffer with vertigo, so I wonder whether it's.
Mm.
But with something like this, that big around your head, it's gonna
Yeah,
affect your
and like
vision
being
and
a small dog really low to the ground, like that's not gonna
yeah,
do any help for them whatsoever.
no, no. And as you say, I mean, just lip lick after yawn after just, total just get me out of this situation.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's just so sad that there are so many people that are still not recognizing these signals. I mean,
yeah.
they're just such simple signals to know, aren't they? Um,
How many
yeah,
likes do you think this one got, Rebecca?
a lot. Can you imagine?
Not as many as I originally thought, but I still went. That's still like almost 18,000 people saying, "Oh, it's okay to do that."
Mm.
Yeah. And not recognizing that dog's in emotional pain.
This is a Christmas one for you to enjoy, Rebecca. I'm sure you will.
You just wanted to torture me tonight, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What did you think of that one?
Not that it was a clever idea.
Nope. And this comment up here was actually done by the creator in the bio. Um, so they're promoting this as come and buy our costume.
Right.
What does it say at the bottom? Common lady, we no wanna participate in today's BS. So bullshit, I'm imagining.
Yeah,
I don't even really understand what that means. Is that from like the dog's point of view that they're
I think
saying?
so. I didn't really understand that one either, but
And if that's the
there,
case, so you know that the dog doesn't want to participate, but you're doing it anyway.
yeah. And on this certain profile, I'm not gonna name and shame, but there was so like countless amounts of videos that I could choose from. Um, I there was at least three of the dogs in these costumes.
Do you know what? I would love to round all these people up and
So
stick
would
them in a
I.
room and
In a
put
costume.
really uncomfortable costumes on them and laugh
Yeah,
at them. Because I'm sure that there was, because a lot of people have said, I can remember this conversation coming up years ago, if dogs know when we're laughing at them. and kind of,
Mm.
and I believe that they very much do.
Oh yeah.
I have laughed at my dogs before, and then because of their reaction, gone, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sweet," because there has definitely been a "Why are you
Yeah.
laughing at me?" Like, I think people are just so not aware of how
Oh
deeply
yeah, 100%.
dogs can think and feel, and
Mm.
they're so in tune with us.
Hmm.
And it's, yeah, I mean, it's like someone dressing you up and then standing there pointing their finger and laughing at you. I mean, it's just horrible.
Yeah, like it's not
Um,
nice, is it?
no.
And like this looks so restrictive around the face.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
and like when I watched it, I thought it was quite restrictive on the paws as well, and like the front leg movement.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Um,
And as
higher
Danielle
higher or
said
lower
earlier,
likes.
how the hell would
Yeah.
another dog read this dog?
Oh yeah.
Like,
And
we
I
can see
thought
the
I
stress
thought the
signals
fact that they
here,
had
but
them together, all three of them,
yeah,
It's going to be a lot of likes again, isn't it?
unfortunately so.
bloody hell.
But this is the reality of social media. Like, there's so many. Like, I know quite a few dog trainers haven't just don't engage with social media anymore because, like, well, I personally have a lot of like dogs come up on my social media because, like, if I see like a positive thing, then obviously like I'm gonna like it, and like I like a lot of your stuff, Rebecca, and then like next scroll it's like, oh, one of these, and I'm just like is it necessary?
Getting worse as well, though, isn't it? I'm finding I used to scroll through. I get only dog
Oh
stuff
yeah.
on my feed because I don't really use Facebook for anything else other
Yeah.
than dog stuff. I put occasional family stuff on, but not really. And I've found recently I'm having to like block, not blocking because they've done anything to me, but I'm just scrolling through and I'm like, they are not the type of people that. Whereas I didn't used to get that. I used to get a lot of,
Yeah.
because the algorithms would feed me other dog trainers that were quite like-minded to me, but I'm not getting that at the moment. And I don't know
No.
whether it's because the algorithms have changed or because there's just a massive shift in more
Yeah.
aversive
I think
kind of.
there's like I think over the past few years there's been a massive increase of it.
And I think I've got a blog coming out. I don't think it has come out yet. I did wonder how it would. It might have, but I'm gonna possibly try and do some studying because I think the increase in racism, homophobia, all of that, I think is very much linked to
Oh
this,
yeah.
to aversive training. It's this disregard for other people's being, and
Yeah.
it's and that's why I end up going down so many rabbit holes with dogs because I think they reflect so much more than just that. They reflect us and they reflect what our
Yeah.
culture is doing at the moment, and
Yeah,
to
they
be
do.
honest, it's bloody scary.
100%. This is the next one. Is this one's a short video clip as well. That was a little bit jumpy, sorry.
All right, darling.
What do you think about this one?
So it's hats and dicky bows, isn't it? I didn't see any
Yeah.
coats or anything. Yeah. Mm.
I mean, I think
I
it's
didn't.
a lot less. Go on, Kaz.
Yeah, I didn't find it as disturbing. I
No.
almost chuckled.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
I did. My initial reaction was, "Oh, cute," rather than the horror than at the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. And
Um,
like that's like what we said earlier, that's almost like built into us that we go, oh,
mm,
like look at the dog. And I didn't think, well, like a lot of them they were like running around, and I think the bows might be like on their collar or something like that. Um,
yeah,
I thought they looked like fairly happy with it. Like none of the body was restrained, like none of the lower body was restrained at all. Um, that
Not
I
restrictive,
didn't
is it? It's not restrictive. It's not
know.
going to have been difficult to put on. They're used to wearing collars. So, I mean, my boy, he's no longer with us, but he wore a bow tie to my wedding.
Yeah.
He came to my wedding. And actually, Fly did have a tutu on. She had like a little green tutu. And
Yeah,
in all fairness, when I put that on her, I genuinely think she loved wearing it because she was a bit of a tart. Fly. She loved you grooming her. She loved anything that gave her attention. Like she would lay there for
yeah.
hours with me, clipping her, and she looked like Specsavers dog because I'm no groomer. But yeah, so she was more that type of dog. And would I do it now? I'm not sure I would, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I still look back and think there are some things that are just they're not as restrictive.
Yeah.
No, and there's like a lot worse things you can do, isn't there? Like,
Yeah,
because like our dogs, they're really happy with wearing bandanas on their collar because like even Scrumpy, he won't mind a bandana on his collar, but if you tried to put that hat on him, he would go no. But
Mm.
like I think most of our other dogs would be like okay with that.
yeah,
Mm.
But yeah, like exactly what I said earlier, always down to dog, I would go. And
yeah.
like if you put it on them and they go no thanks, I would go, that's okay.
It's
Like
like
we don't
even
need to do
coats, isn't it? I mean, Dustin, I would never even try and put a coat on Dustin because
this.
he's extremely sensitive. He loves
No, yeah,
cuddles and things, but I mean, if I try and do anything that there is an ounce of anything that is not consensual to him, he's like, F off. I just don't
yeah.
want this.
But
Whereas
that's
Harry and
fair enough, isn't
Matilda,
it?
yeah, so I don't, and he's a bit more he's long haired anyway, so he doesn't. Whereas the other two, I mean, they suffer with the cold. So, Harry sees his pajamas and actually you can see him go, yep, because he knows that
I'm
they
ready.
provided
Yeah,
warmth. So it's, yeah, there's very, and okay, this isn't providing any necessary, but it's not massively restrictive. So
so
I still think, we've got to be careful of this whole objectification of
yeah.
animals and, but as you say, I think out of the,
Out of what I've picked, I don't. I think it's like at the lower end of the scale.
yeah, definitely.
Um, what do you think about the like situation then?
Don't know, I reckon
I
these
think
guys
it
probably
might be
got
quite
a
high.
lot.
Do you think
Mm.
this really surprised me? Actually,
What?
this is the lowest amount of likes that I've got on this PowerPoint.
Huh.
See, as I was the same as Kaz, this is the only one out of all of them that I didn't have. Well, other than the one, the one in the dinosaur, I was like, oh, bless, they've just got a warm coat on. And the little puppy in
Yeah,
the coat, I didn't have any sort of, but all the others I've bulked at. Whereas
Mm.
this one, yeah, I was like, oh, that's quite cute, actually. I
Yeah.
kind of forget myself a bit with that. So I would have assumed
Yeah.
that would, but no, because,
this one was one of the most surprising ones that I found actually.
Must have been
Um,
a new account.
yeah.
but I've gone over time. Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah, no, you carry on. Well, I'm
Yes,
enjoying
please.
myself. Yeah.
This is the worst one out of the lot. Please be prepared. This was pretty much the whole disclaimer. This was pretty much it. I'm watching Rebecca's face throughout this.
I'm
Oh.
Um,
I think people need to get a life and get some dollies. Would be
Yeah.
my reaction. Like,
Yeah.
if you want a dog, I just don't. I
use it for
don't.
dog purposes. Like, go touch some grass.
Yeah,
Like, get in a field with that dog. Um, this
That
was
dog
the one
wants
that
an
I.
award.
This was the only one that I found hate comments for.
that's
Um,
interesting.
That's only
these
because
are
they don't like the dress.
Yeah,
these were the positive comments, and it was absolutely flooded with these.
Mm.
These were the negative comments. Um, I don't know if you'll be able to see them. Depends where my head is. Probably in the way.
yeah. It's only
Um,
the bottom one. There we go.
that matter. Now I found this really interesting. Um, a lot of their hate comments, I had to translate a lot of them. Because lots of them weren't in English.
You know
Ah.
where they were from?
I've got no idea, but I know it wasn't from here, and I thought that would have been that's a really good point because
Mm.
like a few of them I know the videos are American, a few of them that I chose were British. Um, but this one, pretty much all the hate comments were foreign languages.
I'd be really interested in. You'll have to send me a thing work out where from.
When I've seen similar posts and had to translate, it's generally been from German.
Do you know what I said? I
Mm.
do you know in my head I was like, I bet Germany.
That
I
makes sense.
haven't seen this post but in similar ones that I've seen to this,
Yeah,
they've been German.
yeah, I wouldn't be because the welfare
I think
standards are
one
in
one of
some
them
certain issues. So
one of them looks like, I don't want to be like discriminative. One of them looks like Asian-y sort of, that side of the world, and
yeah,
then um the other ones I wasn't sure, so it probably could well have been German.
yeah. Yeah, I
Um
mean, I think the extremeness of kind of putting makeup on a dog probably triggered people, whereas
yeah,
I can imagine there's people that still don't understand that the other videos that you've shown are just as bad,
yeah.
even though they're just restricting. Whereas I think for this, for a lot of people that are okay with costumes, the makeup would have gone just a
This
step
is like
too
another
far for
level,
them.
isn't it?
Yeah,
And it almost saddens me that it took for this to happen, for those hate comments to arrive. Like, I scrolled pretty much all the way through those comments on the other ones to see if I could find just one. There was absolutely nothing on the other ones. But yeah, it was just like, this is what it takes to get them and like to get the recognition for that. Like, there needs to be so much more education, I think, like
yeah.
worldwide. Um,
Just how sad that dog looks, you know? And
yeah,
I
and
think,
like I counted so like countless stress signals in that.
yeah,
Like, why are we even like putting eyelashes on a dog? Like, we don't even need to put eyelashes on, let alone like other things that like
yeah,
don't need them.
yeah. Yeah, and again, it's this whole thing of image again, isn't it? We're just
Yeah,
obsessed with image that we're projecting that now onto dogs who, if we let them, are the only ones that are kind of allowing us to get back in touch with our natural bloody selves that we need more than anything right now.
yeah.
Um,
Um, I don't think this is gonna come as a surprise, but how many likes do you think?
Probably a lot.
It'll be the most because of the conflict in the comments. More people will have seen it.
Yeah, yeah,
This was
really
the
good
most
point.
out of all of them. It really saddened me that this many people saw this video, but it's not gonna work now, is it? There we go.
Over a million, is that? Yeah.
Yeah, well over 1 million people.
Mm.
I'd love to know the ratio of negative to positive on that one.
Um, I was sort of counting them as I went through. It was sort of about 3 to 1, so pretty much like every three nice ones, I got a negative one. That's just like average of me counting
Yeah.
out. But oh, this is my big packed information bit. Um, you don't need to read all of this. If you do, and I will move my head as we go around. Um, and I did. I've done a couple of conferences before. I don't think either of you have been to them, so this will be fine because I've plucked all of these from my other PowerPoints. Rebecca, you might recognise it. I'm hoping the others won't. Um, but if you do, then it's just a reminder. Um, so I like we know like a lot of people, like especially young people, are like exposed to like examples of what we've just seen. Um, and I think they're really like harmful to their mental health. Um, and like getting it in that young, like especially because I know like people are getting phones a lot younger and people are going on social media a lot younger. Um, and I've got all of these from Instagram and TikTok, but I've also seen them on like YouTube, Reels, right and wrong. So that sausage dog one, we were all expecting that to be a lot higher. And then other ones we thought might be a bit lower. Like we don't know, like what could be right for our dog or just what is right in general. Um, and some people assume, quite a lot of people, if they follow someone and they go, "Oh, I like this person," um, let's do this to my dog because they've done it. And it's always seen as acceptable if you enjoy the person, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna follow in their footsteps and do this. And I think what is accepted becomes acceptable. And like we've talked about, it's like more people are doing it. So like more people are putting it on social media, more people are going to be doing it at home, and the cycle's just going to continue. And I think like me, Rebecca, I think most people on the platform are able to notice when dogs are unhappy in these, when they're not enjoying it, when they've got like not any freedom of space in situations. But like I have countless concerns that so many others don't, and probably like thousands, millions, like in the world have no idea.
The thing is,
Like I
it's
know
not a
so many
level of,
people.
it doesn't reflect how caring or compassionate people are. You know, I have
No,
clients that, and I will have clients that possibly watch this that didn't recognize these things before they started working with me. You know,
yeah,
and were just totally unaware and, you know, absolutely adore their dogs. I'm not saying necessarily dressing them up, but just stress
yeah.
signals in general, just
That's
understanding
I
how
was gonna
the
say
dogs
that's what I was
feel.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
like they love their dog to bits, but like they don't understand, they don't know. And if we don't get the education out there, then they're still not gonna know and they're gonna live their lives not knowing and
yeah.
like possibly let other people know and like they will have no idea. Um and I think like there are so many images out there, like these were I plucked these took me about 5 minutes to choose these because there were so many options. Um and there's so many people that are exposed to these images, and they're influenced by it, and they just go, "Oh, like let's buy that and put it on my dog." Like, why? I don't know, but like, I think it's because the education isn't out there.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna move me so you can see. Um, there we go. And I think whether we like it or not, the online world is a place where likes, as we've seen, and opinions are influenced. I think with the hate comments and the dislikes, I think a lot of platforms don't have dislikes, but they're influenced as well. And I think if people like the video or the photos or whatever's been put on, then they're just going to repeat and repeat because it gets them the clout that they want. Um, and it's getting that exposure.
Mm.
Um, and because well, I'm on social media quite a lot because I'm a child. Um, but it brings me a lot of images as dogs, as we were talking about earlier. And although I think it should be really nice that I get to see dogs on my social media, but um, like often it doesn't bring me a lovely experience that I think I should have because I'm saddened by a lot of the content. Like seeing those, like even now and making the PowerPoint, I was just like,
Mm.
what are people doing with their dogs? Like dogs are not here. Dogs are not supposedly called man's best friend because because they want to be dressed up because they want to be out in the fields, they want to be running around doing their own thing, not like trapped inside, like not doing like they're not. Some dogs are here to please us, like my spaniel, she will do anything for me because she loves me, but it's only because we've built up that bond. And I think there's so many dogs online and offline that could have an amazing relationship with their owner, but because they do these actions, I think that like their bond could never be the same as when they got them as a puppy because they've had so many bad experiences.
I think
Um,
you're so right with that,
I think
Lottie.
people,
Yeah, bonds are really weird one, aren't they? Because I look at the bonds that I've had with, and I would always say I
yeah,
think I've had deep, strong bonds, but the more I've understood dogs, there's a connection
yeah,
that I have with my dogs now that I didn't have with previous dogs because my understanding has grown deeper, you know, and yeah, I think that connection gets so much richer the more we understand, and so many. I had a lady today actually. terrified little dog, and she just kept pushing her dog towards me to go, she's all right, she's all right. And I had to like be really, really firm and just say, can you stop doing that? She doesn't want to say hello to me. It's absolutely fine. And after a while, the dog wanted to come and say hello to me. But, the lady loved her dog. But that
Yeah.
misunderstanding that what she was doing was really scaring her dog. The person that she trusts the most was pushing her basically into a situation she felt totally uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
And she was totally oblivious that she was doing it. It's really sad. It's really, really sad.
It is. It's really sad. And I'm gonna skip um this one, but I'm just gonna round it up a little bit. Um, and I think if we don't educate people like now, and especially like younger people, around dogs and how to be around them positively, and I don't think anything's gonna change, and I do just think it's gonna get worse. Like as we said, like we've seen like in this generation everything's gone up, and I think the future of dogs on social media is like it's just gonna get worse. I think it gives dog trainers of the future a harder job trying to educate. Like I'm trying to change things slowly now as I can because I know it's just going to be so much harder for people like me that want to try and make dogs have like a positive upbringing with people because like there's so many people that are like dog bites, that's a big thing, and someone in my school in my year got bitten by a dog last week, and it's like that that it could be that they were doing something with that dog that it just didn't like.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a really
gonna
scary situation. I think it's very difficult for my kind of age group, Lottie, because I'm not a TikTok person. I'm not an Instagram, I'm a Facebook person because that's kind of what happened in my age group. So they're the type of market that I kind of hit. I have seen a couple of younger trainers recently that I've loved their content. It's really, but I guess we need people more like your age group, really, don't we? Starting to flood.
yeah
We need to get the message out there that they need to flood, the internet with education, understanding and respect for animals. That was fantastic, Lottie. We saved the best till last.
Definitely. Oh,
I
no, apart from
didn't.
last night's was really good as well.
Yeah, sorry, Lisa. Last
So
night's was
yeah.
wonderful too.
It's right. It's right. She's not actually on.
All right.
Thanks, Kaz. Thank you. And Lottie, actually, you wouldn't have any of the knowledge if it wasn't for me and Dad. So you have some credit, quite honestly.
You have got pretty cool parents that have I mean that's the thing. That's where I kind of, and we've had, I mean, I think we need to talk more in depth about this type of thing, Lottie, because I think everyone's
Me?
got different roles. Yeah. Because I think, I think for me, it's all well and I know that you've said to me before, I've got to get to the kids and that out there, but at the same time, kids don't really listen to me. Some do, like people, kids that are a bit cool kids listen to
Yeah.
me. Yeah. But in general, if I'm going on social media with the type of stuff which is very authentic to me, I am not going to interest the majority. So for me, I've always seen my role of
Getting
hitting
to that
kind of
market.
is hitting more of our age group. So your mums and Kaz. I won't put you in it, Danielle, because I think you're younger than us as well. But I think, for me, it's trying to educate the parents, because I think if I get the parents, then they'll teach the kids. But we
Yeah.
need people then educating the kids so that the kids educate
I
the
yeah,
parents.
I wanted to try and like get it into school. And like what a little bit of what Mum was talking about yesterday about what they were doing in school. I wanted to like try and get that into our schools because I know one of my teachers that I speak to, they were like, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if we got a school dog?" And I was like, "Let's have a think about that because if like it's a massive, but not massive secondary school, but it's like for a puppy it would be big, and like there's a lot of students. And I said to her, come back to me if you're seriously thinking about it, because I said to her, I could give you so much advice on it, because she was just like, oh, I could just bring it in and it would be great, and I was just like, let's have a think about the dog for a minute.
Sorry, my my aunt isn't very well, so I said that I would ring her when this ended, and obviously we've gone over time.
Sorry.
It hasn't ended.
Oh, it's not your
Oh
fault.
yeah, Lottie.
You better go. It's right, because
No,
yours
no,
was
it's
only
not your
about
fault.
half
It's
an hour
only because she's not
yesterday.
well. But I wouldn't
I just want to say, I think I'm in the middle age group between the two. So I've left school a good 10, possibly 15 years ago. I've lost count. Um, I am definitely, unfortunately, into the adult world. And I
Yes,
am
I
of the
didn't mean that you
sort
weren't an
of
adult, Danielle. I
no,
just
no,
meant that you weren't
no.
an old fart like
No,
nearly
I don't know. I
everyone
feel
has. Sorry,
like it.
guys.
I feel like it. I'm definitely of the Facebook era, but I was at work. There's definitely the when people are talking about their dogs. I should say of my other job, not my doggy job. Um, I unfortunately have a boring desk job. Um, but when they're talking about their dogs, I really have to grit my teeth and bite my tongue because there is so much misunderstanding and a
I would
lack of
stop
knowledge.
gritting your teeth and biting your tongue. Let it spew it
Just
up.
don't
I,
be just don't be quite as blunt as Rebecca if you want to keep your job.
yeah,
I
that's
get away
the
with it. I've
issue.
never been sacked.
We have
I
to
have
balance this
been.
out.
I have been. I worked with horses many, many years ago when I was still at school, and I got sacked because I stood up for one of the horses a little bit too
Oh,
bluntly.
bless
Oh,
you.
massive respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, well, good on you.
Yeah, so I
Not for
am very
getting fired,
careful.
but for the
Do you know what?
research.
Standing up for the
I didn't
horse.
want to work for them after that, to be honest.
Mm.
So it was a blessing in disguise.
So hard, isn't it? It is hard, and it is a fight, and I honestly think it's as hard a fight as racism, homophobia, all of those things. It's that they're all a fight, and it's something that, but they are all things that I think all of us have a duty to fight for or against, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, against oppression of people and other animals that are not getting the right advocacy, basically. And dogs, yeah, I think dogs have always been, well, and horses and lots of other animals. It's not just dogs. I mean, I'm doing a lot of research into guinea pigs and rabbits at the moment, and my God, I mean, that just wants to, we think dogs are treated badly.
Yeah.
At least dogs can bite back. There's a lot of animals out there that just literally sit there and just have to put up with it.
Well, bite back and like make a difference. Like, but I think
Yeah.
like I'm almost sorry that I didn't go too much, because my normal thing that I talk about is like how like social media is impacting, and I did roughly brush on it at the end, but I had a bit of fun tonight. I hope you did as well.
We had
Um
lots of fun. Well,
Yeah,
I
lots of
did.
fun.
and
Yeah.
if
Brilliant.
you want to see me next year, I'm at the conference. I'm getting you some putting you out there, Rebecca.
Thank you, darling.
They've probably all bought tickets anyway,
I was
but
going to say, you're
if you
probably
want to see
preaching to
if
the
you want to see me
converted of
again,
people that, yes, you'll be. And we're going to try and make the conference interactive, aren't we?
yes, I will definitely have an interactive section.
Yes, we definitely need more interaction
To
in
break up some
education.
of the
And I
sciencey
think
talk.
and I think this is part of it as well, Lottie. And that's kind of, I have got projects next year that I'm really excited about that I can't tell anyone about. So it's really, for someone like me, it's very difficult. But yeah, I have got projects very much on that is accessible education, because I
Yeah.
feel like we've got this massive gap in the middle. We've got,
Oh yeah.
it's all of the lovely big institutions that are fantastic and that are bringing amazing dog trainers and behaviorists into the world, but we are left with this massive gap of education that is not getting into mainstream.
Yeah. And I just wanted to ask, out of curiosity really, have you seen on the news where they the dog daycare dressed up the dogs as nativity. Have you seen that? I think it was on ITV.
No, I don't watch telly very much. I watch like
Yeah,
Netflix
Rebecca.
and that,
Yeah,
but
precisely. Head in hands. Um, I probably won't be able to find it now, but it's probably on Facebook
I
somewhere.
think you've traumatized me enough for tonight.
Yeah, yeah, and the rest, Rebecca. But that's kind of what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
Mum's had to put up with me for 15 years, so you might as well put some of that on you.
That's fine. You put it on me. I don't mind. You can come and traumatize me anytime.
I'm gonna find some nice fluffy, nice dog videos to watch now.
Go have a cuddle with your dogs. Sleep
Yeah,
in it,
There
sleep
good
in the
point.
are, I
back.
mean,
Good
the thing
point.
is
Yes.
there are people out there, and I think maybe that's one thing we can do because I'm a nightmare for not really liking things. I don't like stuff too much, and I think if I didn't do the job I did, I probably wouldn't be on social media much, if I'm totally honest. It's not really something that I love a huge amount. I love it for the educational stuff. I do end up finding lots of cool educational stuff on there, but that's because that's the world I'm in. So but maybe now
Yeah,
I'm going to start liking good posts, so that we are
yeah,
starting
as you
to,
should.
yeah, encourage those. There's a dog trainer I found recently, and I can't remember his name, but he's young. He's probably in his 20s, and he's fantastic. Like some of the stuff he's saying, and he swears more than I do, so I love him loads. I'm like, yeah, you go. He's very blunt, very to the point, but very knowledgeable. And I'm like, oh, we need more people like him on social media because we do need that type
I'll
of
definitely have to. Oh yeah,
sensationalism. Dog trainers like me or behaviorists like me, I can't do that because it's not who I am. It'd be very inauthentic of me to try and make
yeah.
these flashy videos because it is just not me. So it doesn't. So we really need
I
to
even
encourage
even the
them.
like the down video that I did for you, Rebecca. Like I was just like, what am I doing? Like I don't I don't make things. I don't do speaking or anything. And
Well, you do
pretty
speaking
much
very
just
well, and you're getting better and better at it the more you do it.
it's pretty much like Rebecca is pretty much the only reason why I started speaking because if you hadn't made me do that first conference, I don't think I would have ever again, to be
Well,
honest.
if I die tomorrow, Lottie, I've done something very good with my life then. So that makes me very happy
You
that I've
better
done
not.
that.
You better not.
I'm not. I really hope not.
Try
I'll
not
do
to.
my best. Yeah, I think, and the thing is, Lottie, is that you possibly are not necessarily one of the people that are going to be doing the flashy videos on you. I think you will go more into this type of talking, because it's something you're very, very good at, and we need younger people. You engage people really well, and we need younger people to stand up and do these. So, so we've got it all going on next year, haven't we? So we'll get you
We
out there
have.
more.
And we've got to meet up and decide to do a course
Yes.
sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of projects next year, lots of projects. Right, I better go, but my aunt has just had like major heart surgery, and I'm worried that if I leave her too much longer, she's going to have more heart surgery if I don't ring her back.
Yeah, go
Don't want
go.
to be responsible
Sorry,
for
I've
that.
gone like half
No,
an hour over, but I hope it was all right.
it was so
It was
worth it,
brilliant,
and
Lottie. Thank you.
yeah, it was brilliant for our last one. I think, yeah, we definitely went out on a bang. So thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for all your
having
support,
me.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Sending
See
lots
you
of love to
soon.
you all. See you soon. Well, have a lovely Christmas.
Oh
Have
yeah.
an amazing
Oh
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
No
Bye, guys.